Yo, yo, here we go. Hey, buddy. What you doing, buddy? He gets afraid of thunder. He doesn't like thunder. I don't know if y'all noticed, but yeah, I lost my other tooth in the front there. Actually, this morning. It's crazy. It was a fake one, though, but yeah, it's gone now, too. It's hard to talk now. Nothing to press against. Feels crazy. But it looks better than that one dumb, doofy, retard fake tooth. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah. Now if these other two retard ones would fall out, who knows? I don't know. It's crazy looking. Crazy looking. Yeah, buddy's afraid of thunder. When it rains and thunders, when it lightning and thunders real loud, he gets all afraid, gets all right up under the bed where I sleep and shit. He doesn't like thunder at all. He gets afraid of it. He sure is. What an amazing good dog, huh? Just came out of the fucking woods. Just walking by this fucking trail here and said, hey, I like you. I want to live here. That's fucking crazy. What a cool dog. I can't believe what a good dog he is. What a blessing this dog's been. How's everybody been? All two of you. How's everybody doing today? Wednesday, hump day, May 5th. These fucking birds won't shut up. I'm going crazy. I want to kill every one of these fucking birds. Go away! Fuck, man. They're so annoying, dude, these fucking birds, bro. God damn, dude. How many times can you make the same noise again and again? How many times? All day and night? Yeah, that's right. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. That's right. It's crazy. It is fucking stupid. Oh, yeah. Oops. Oh, boy. Let me just close out these pages we don't need. Oh, see, where did I leave off? Boy, where to begin? Just in case people don't understand it, everything in the world is rigged. It's a big, and you and I are not in the big club. It's like George Carlin says, hey, buddy, right? Don't, you're wet. Get back, wetness. Back up. Back up. Good boy. I know. Just chill. I'm trying to do something over here. Oh my God, you picked now to be all lovey-dovey? Now? Now you want some love? Oh, you are so cute. What an amazing dog. You are so, you want to go out? Who's that? Go out? He wants to play. He wants to play. You want to play? Right here. Watch this shit. Go get it. He's obsessed with fetch. Go get it. It is amazing. Look at that dog go. What's he doing? Go get it. Boy, you are lightning fast. And he'll throw it right back at you if I don't pick it up right away. Throw it at me. Well, it got pinned back in there and it still fucking got it. Wow. Wow. Go in there. That's crazy. What a good dog. How's everybody doing today? Where is everybody at today? Just waiting for somebody to. So, he's going to be way too wound. I'm going to have to put him outside. Yeah, he ain't going to stop. He ain't going to. Come on. Come on, let's go. Good boy. Good boy. Oh my God, that dog, dude. He is one track mind. All he wants to do all day and night, nonstop, is play fetch. It's crazy. That's all he wants to do. Fetch or take a walk. So everything's rigged. I've been explaining all this. Government, everything in the world is rigged. People are naive and don't understand this shit. I'll show some videos again.
Yeah. Watch this, right? Look. Gets it. Then he goes, right, okay. And then he takes the knee. And then look at this guy at the back. See him in the corner with the beard. Watch. Now watch Scooby look over to him and watch what the guy in the beard does. Oh, look at that. What is that about? In a minute. Yeah. Watch this, right? Look. Gets it. Then he goes, right, okay. And then he takes the knee. And then look at this guy at the back. See him in the corner with the beard.
Okay, I see what's going on here.
Now watch Scooby look over to him and watch what the guy in the beard does.
I see what's up.
Oh, look at that. What is that about? In a minute. Yeah. Watch this, right? Look.
Everything's rigged, folks. Everything's rigged, especially government, especially religion. All of it's rigged. And it's all to control you. It's all to control you. Yep. But how's everybody been? It's Wednesday. And May 6th, Wednesday. And let's explain. Let's get Jason here to explain. And this is what I've been trying to tell everybody. The corporations are guiding the people because they have a monopoly now, they can offer expensive things. They can offer cheap things, but they don't want to do that. What do I mean by that? Let me show you this video and you'll see what I mean by that. By the way, it's going to take me a minute to get used to talking again without any teeth in the front to press against. It's real weird. It's hard to talk. I mean, I got to be honest. I used to have a pretty good set of teeth growing up. This is goddamn garbage right now.
All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here at J.C. Lewis Ford in Pooler. Not my local Statesboro one. This is the one outside of Savannah in Pooler, Georgia. We just got done doing a lot walk down this whole thing here, talking about all the F-250s that are on here. And what we're going to dive into is something that we've talked about before, but I'm noticing it here. You see it between these dealers like crazy. So basically, we're talking about almost a forced compliance. Now, there will be people in the comments that nothing is forced. You don't have to do it. You get the right to, it's your choice to buy or not. They're going to go on and on. Forced compliance through availability. Does that sound better for you? Is that how we should put it? Maybe make it a little better. But when we talk about it, our Super Duties, we got a few F-150s there. We haven't even got into those, but again, same thing. Most of the F-150s have been modified that are on this lot, okay? They're either a Rocky Ridge or Black Widow package, like you're seeing right here, like all these F-150s. Look at everything is somehow modified, okay? There's like 3 stock F-150s. Everything else, there's some sort of a lifted or dealer add-on, something done to it, as you can see on every one of these all the way down. Even the standard platinum is upgraded with tires and this kind of stuff, and a side addendum sticker on here worth $9,000 extra on your.
And and these are supposed to be floor planned, and so like they gotta sell them, and like they're putting money into these things. So,
already
on top of it already being out of reach of everybody,
F-150 that comes
are no buyers.
in at 80, making it a
See that?
$90,000 F-150.
It's $90,000 because the government forces you to use a dealer, a middleman, and then the dealer, the manufacturer, they won't sell any cheap $10,000 trucks. You could tell them all day long, cheap, dependable $10,000 trucks, mass produce them if you wanted. They won't do it because it's not about even making money. It's about control. It's about control. They're told at the top what to do, and so they don't offer the cheap vehicles anymore.
50 every
None of them. One manufacturer could clean house and go, hey, all right, fuck all of you. I'm going to fucking do it and fucking be the only one. I'll have a monopoly on selling the cheapest trucks. No, they won't do it because they're all owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, which are all owned by, the families.
every one of them is done this way. You can't find a standard truck on here very well. Look at even here. Here's this. No, it's not a standard one.
All these trucks, none of them are selling. They're all the prices of a house. They're all more expensive than my first house.
It's an FX4, but we got upgraded tires. We got forced into the retractable tonneau cover that they are not going to let you get out of. And we have $9,000 worth of add-ons, making $82,000.
I think my first house, I paid like 70-something grand, made like 50 grand on it.
On a simple Lariat version. Okay, see what I'm getting at here? And it just keeps going for the F-150s. Now, when we get into the Super Duties, every Super Duty here has got a diesel engine in it. We do not see one XLT. There is one XL, but there's not an XLT. Everything Super Duty wise, when we get past all these lifted, done up and
shit, my first house was $76,000. What they're asking for that truck right there, and it was 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot. It was fucking pimping, man. You gonna tell me that compares to a truck?
Super high markup type F-150s. We get into the Super Duties. They are all platinum, Lariat, King Ranch. They have all been modified like what you're seeing here.
Like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,500 square feet. I mean, and look, you got like what, 60 square feet, 100 square feet?
Here in some way or another, and they are all astronomical. Here's a standard Super Duty.
Astronomical. They're prices of a house, inflation.
Right here. Okay, this is a standard Super Duty with no addendum
Inflation is a hidden tax. It's the death of all of us.
On it, coming in at $100 grand. Okay, this is your standard Super Duty.
100 fucking grand.
And we've been through all of these, but most of them are like this, where they
now they don't even offer any houses for less than 400 grand because it's the same way. They don't offer affordable vehicles because they don't want to make anything affordable. It is an agenda, a conspiracy. They are conspiring, the rich, against everyone else. There used to be a middle class. There is none left. It's just the 1%, and everybody else is a slave now and can't afford anything because they don't want us to afford anything. Who? The powers that shouldn't be. The families that have been here for generations, hundreds of years, multi-generational agendas, that need suffering on earth to survive. Sick fuckers, sick demon parasites, etheric parasites that live and feed off suffering. It's real.
This one has got 30.
Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
57s on it. This has got extra options that they're adding for a total of $7,000 more to 107 grand for this as a Lariat F-250 with a standard output.
Astronomical.
Forced compliance through inventory, through availability. What does that mean?
Availability. There you go. It's the same way with the real estate. They only offer this little bit of land for sale. All that land out there isn't theirs to tell you can't use, but they keep you off of it and say, no, you can only buy this. It's all a scam. And who are they to sell you something they never paid for? The whole real estate scam is a scam. Buying and paying for land is a total fucking mind fuck. I can't believe the people are this dumb. You can't sell something that you didn't pay for. This is insanity what we're dealing with here. The people we're dealing with are a bunch of literal fucking retards that, you know, if they kill themselves, so be it, right? Fuck them.
If you are shopping for a F-150 or for a Super Duty, and you come to this dealer that looks like, you look at it, you're like, oh my God, look at all these trucks they got here, rows and rows of trucks. They got them up in the front. They got them. I mean, look at all this stuff they got over here. Vehicles everywhere. Okay, those are used over there. But they got all these trucks, all this stuff here. Every single truck along this entire dealership is astronomically marked up because of add-ons or is a very high trim level. Okay.
Yeah.
They're just done up.
That's what they do. They won't put any base. They don't even offer base trim levels anymore on anything. It's nuts.
Well, here, Tremor. Okay. Like, oh, Tremor. Jason said he
can't even find a work truck without fucking leather in it.
Wanted to buy a Tremor and you can get one of these things for 60 grand. You're right. Could get one for 60 grand. The one I would get for 60 grand would be this XLT with the 7.3 in it, and I could pull it off and probably be about 60,000 bucks. Or in 2027, maybe a STX version as prices go up. What is this one? No, they didn't do it to a 7.3. They did it to a standard output F-250 Lariat in a diesel, and you're coming in at 97 or 95,000. Then they go ahead and what else did they do on here? Oh, window tint, and they're charging you $3 grand for this retractable bed cover and window tint. $3 grand for this. Okay, you can get this for 1,500 bucks all day long, and even better ones for less than that. So, but no, they're charging you 3,500. You're $100,000 for this Tremor. Where's my Tremor? Where's the people that follow my channel that want to buy a Tremor? They can't get it here because of forced compliance. Forced compliance in the fact that, no, if you want to buy it now, you have to get it here. We'll give you a couple grand off on these because these are on the lot. But if you want to get the one that you want, no, you got to order it. We don't have time to stock those. We'd rather stock the ones that people are going to be forced into buying. So there's another Tremor, a Platinum 250, 6.7 high output, okay? And it is a Tremor. And it is $108,000. Who do you think's taking this off-road? Who do you think's going to take this truck off-road? You think somebody's going to actually use that in the woods and take that off there for $100,000?
They paid $108 grand. You think they're going to take it and scratch it up in the fucking woods?
$108,000? I don't think so. Would they do it all day long? And if it was a $60,000 truck with a 7.3, yes. If this was a $107,000 Tremor 250 Platinum, and this one parked right next to it, or say this one right here was a Tremor version. Okay.
Wait, Ford fix and repair daily, found on road dead. Shit, when I had a dealer, I would never buy I wouldn't even buy a Ford.
Yeah, same thing, but a Tremor.
All I buy is like Lexus, Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Mazda, Mitsubishi, all that kind of shit.
A 7.3 and an XLT for 63.4.
With trucks like Toyota, Nissan, Chevy, Dodge, I guess. Ram, I mean.
$65,000 MSRP right here. They would sell 100 of these for every one of those. All right, let's hear a word from our sponsors here.
Oops. Oh, God, Lancet. Uh-oh, you fucked me on my camera? Oh, man, at least you could hear me. Could you hear me? This fucking camera. What's up with my camera, bro? Why's he got to do that? Come on, man. It's not even picking it up, man. Oh, there it is. I don't understand it. Okay. It's got me so small today. It's got me. How's Load King doing? mean, to be honest, the manufacturers are corporations controlled by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, and they control and trick most of the dealerships in the middlemen, and they are. You're gonna. I mean, I hate dealers, but they're also the victims of the manufacturers, the big corporations as well, because they're the ones doing all the chaos. They're the ones that come from Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, who come from the powers that shouldn't be, and the families and all the pedophiles that shouldn't be, that protect each other in the government and shit as well. These are people you'll never, ever know their names or see them. They send their agents to do their light work for them. If you see them and know them in the public, they're foot soldiers. They're like boots on the ground. They're the low-level retards of the ruling hierarchy of the world. See, they have real representatives. They don't represent us. They represent the ones you'll never know their names and shit. So what do we got here? Where's everybody at today? I'm not really, I'm like, where the fuck's everybody at, you know? All right, I got a few good videos. We'll hang out, Load King of the Load. Billionaires want to take your PCs away. Don't let them. What do I mean by that?
There's an interview
Hilarious.
with Jeff Bezos.
Hilarious. Oh, you're fucking hilarious. Except with a K. Hilarious.
That's been
Oh boy, I gotta slow this guy down.
getting a lot. There's an interview with Jeff Bezos that's been getting a lot of buzz in online tech circles recently. You might have seen the headlines. Bezos wants you to rent cloud space instead of buying PCs. Bezos says AI will force end of PC ownership. In the interview these articles are actually referencing, Bezos talks about going to an old brewery in Luxembourg with a museum, including an old electric power generator.
And the brewery was 300 years old. They were very proud of their history, and they had a museum. And in that museum was an electric power generator. They wanted to improve the efficiency of their brewery with electricity. There was no power grid, so they had to build their own power station. So they made their own electricity. And I looked at this and I thought, this is what computation is like today. Everybody has their own data center. And that's not going to last. It makes no sense. You're going to buy compute off the grid. That's AWS.
Notice he said data center. Bezos is talking about AI companies here, not end consumers.
What is it that you're doing at Amazon?
AI.
AI.
Yeah, in fact, this trip was one of the little tiny catalysts for the founding of AWS.
But I think the admittedly clickbaity common interpretation of his words is not without merit. You've probably noticed that hardware prices for consumers are going through the roof these days is not without.
That's not going to last. Jeff Bezos believes AI will force you to rent your PC. No, that's an agenda that they want to do to you. It's not what they believe. It's what they wish. It's their wet dream. Like you people, it's like, it's amazing. It's a fucking amazing. Force you your PC from the cloud, and the RAM crisis is accelerated. Again, you'll own nothing and be happy. Do you understand what they're trying to do here? It's an agenda, and if you understand the agenda, you understand this makes perfect sense. They don't want you to own anything at all. Everything. They don't want you to have anything tangible or physical. So when they shut off the internet or power or whatever they want to do, you don't have anything. You don't even have a book to read. Or a chessboard, probably.
Merit. You've probably noticed that hardware prices for consumers are going through the roof these days. Every day it seems like another company wants you to rent something you could previously own, or a consumer-friendly feature is removed for no good reason, or a previously good product is slowly made lower and lower quality. It's rough out there for the end consumer. But despite all the doom and gloom, I think that there's a lot.
Anyway, my bad. Some of these videos, it's like, I don't. When I saw them, it's only like the beginning that's good of any of these. Some of these. Okay. So how's everybody doing? How's all 5 of us? Or you? Or what's going on, y'all? You miss me from Sunday? Nobody here. It's just me and Load King. If you don't comment, you're not real. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Look, I look like, no teeth in the front, Ma. How you doing? Huh? My tooth fell out this morning. My fake one. It's better looking that way anyway. It looks better than that one ugly retard tooth sticking out like a fucking hook. It's insane. I think this looks even better. You just got to get used to it. It's hard to talk, nothing to press against. You use your teeth. I noticed that you use your teeth a lot to speak, to pronounce things, to pronounce things, to speak. It's rough. It is rough. Trying to speak with no teeth. Ain't got no teeth. Ain't got no gas. Oh, shit, I don't know if we're ready for this one yet. Jesus, that's heavy. Hold up. God. Oh, shit, that's right. This is good. Good. All right. Here we go. We got another video. I'm just showing videos.
Since the 1970s.
I'm an organic farmer in Maine since the 70s.
I have been an organic farmer in Maine since the 1970s. And no one can tell me or the other farmers here today that we can't grow food without all of these toxic chemicals.
Over 140,000 family farms will close this year, and nobody is talking about it. 140,000, guys. Why is this happening? Well, in the 1990s, Monsanto, later acquired by Bayer, introduced something called Roundup Ready crops, which are crops that are genetically engineered to resist glyphosate, which is the key ingredient in their weed killer, Roundup. This then led to a massive explosion in the use of glyphosate in factory farming, with now about 60% of total crops being treated with this pesticide. The only problem is that Roundup causes cancer, and Bayer has already had to pay tens of billions of dollars to settle these cases, which obviously is not ideal for corporate profits. In fact, Bayer
settle the cases. This is a crime. They murdered people knowingly. They knowingly murdered people. You don't just pay a fine. So they just get to pay a fucking fine when you murder people, Bayer? Are you listening to me? The CEO should have his neck fucking hacked in half.
Bayer is pushing a case in the Supreme Court right now that blocks people from suing them if they get cancer from Roundup. And the Trump administration is backing Bayer's bid to curb these Roundup lawsuits. And for the farmers who say,
you can't make it up, man, how rigged and evil the system is. And nobody even can believe it if they knew. I mean, it's crazy.
No, we don't want to chemicalize our food supply. Bayer has methodically driven them one by one.
It doesn't matter. Even if you fucking protest to the maximum, they still will go against the people and say, okay, no, you don't want the AAI Center? No, we're still going to put it in. You don't want Flock? We're still going to put it in. They do not represent the people, these pedophile politicians.
One out of business with the help of President Barack Obama.
What has gotten us to this point is the mergers and consolidations of ag input suppliers, In 2015, Monsanto and Bayer merged. They were competing against each other. And that was during Obama's administration. They didn't do a thing about that. They let it happen. When I started farming, we had 5 or 6 Arkansas-based seed companies. Monsanto, there's none. There's none. They're all owned by Bayer.
Point blank, they've created a monopoly to poison you, and both parties are in on it. Right now, there's a farm bill, H.R. 7567, that Congress is expected to vote on this week that codifies immunity for Bayer and basically destroy organic farming going forward. We cannot allow this to pass.
I have been an organic farmer in Maine since the 1970s. And
Can you guys hear and see me okay, King? Did you guys hear that video okay? Was the audio okay? Over here. Is anybody even in here? Who the fuck? It just puts a number of the pretending people are even in here. Oh boy. This isn't even real. I'm not even in a real fucking goddamn fucking room on the internet. Oh, come on. I didn't mean to do that with a dumb screen. Oh, I hate it when you accidentally hit the wrong button. Man, the homeless crisis is getting insanity, man. It's foreclosures are at a record, all-time high, blowing away 1929 and 2008, 80s. Car repossessions are at an all-time fucking high. Seems like I showed that one. Oh, it seems like did I show that video? Would it kill you if we watched? Oh yeah, that's my boy. Yeah, and we're getting screwed hardcore. Folks, Walmart is out there selling you bags of 2-pound sugars with 1 pound of sugar in them. Okay? They're not just shrinkification, they're liification. It's straight up fraud. Walmart is straight up committing fraud, and nobody gets in trouble. While Americans are being priced out of their own lives. We are being priced out of our own lives. Jesus. Okay, hold on. I'm queuing up a few links here for us, and we'll be ready to go. I'm looking for certain things. Sometimes it's really cool to show something right away. They're so good. Hold up. Yeah, the education's pretty bad lately, folks. Americans can't even read these days. That's pretty sad. Americans' finances worse than ever. Repos are at an all-time high with cars. Foreclosures at an all-time high. We'll get to it. Hold up. These are short videos, you know. Hey. Shh. Stream dork. What's up, Midnight Smoker? Midnight Smoke. I'm not even going to try. Smoke Scribbin Archive. Smoke Scribe. Smokes Crib. All right. What's up, buddy? Good to hear you, Load King and Midnight Smoker. Toker. I'm a midnight toker because I drink alone. I'm just kidding. How do y'all like my new grill? You guys like my new grizzle? My new grill? My fucking fake tooth fell out even. I think that's a good sign of healing. So my new teeth can grow in, baby. Oh, yeah. Now the new teeth can grow in. Get rid of that dumb fake shit. I hope my titanium screw doesn't pop out of my wrist. What's up, Murph Laws? How y'all doing? I got links. Let's hope they don't stinks. And I know I'm beating a dead horse. I do that all the time with all this information, but sometimes new people need a learning or old people need a review.
I want to show y'all something. There's nobody around these people. They're recording for TV. Look, they're down here like, come on, cheer louder, cheer more. And then you're going to see this on TV and you're going to think that there's like a billion people down here. But look, there's really not. Look, I want to show y'all something. There's nobody around.
Good to see you, Murph Law. Remember George?
The way the ruling class operates in any society, they try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. You know, anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
Anything but what really matters is they'll let them argue about anything except what really matters is, and the question is who are you to tell me what to do? You're just a gang of thugs dictating the whole world what to do. Stop it.
You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper.
They never talk about that. Who are you? Where do you're just a stranger like me. You don't have authority over me to tell me what to do and make stupid rules for me. That's never, ever the subject. That's the elephant in the room all the time that they never, ever talk about.
Class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other. So
there you go. We're rolling now. Nice. Smoke, scribe, and archive. I love it. Midnight, good job. Midnight smoker. I used to be a midnight smoker all the time, dude. A 2 a.m. smoker even. Be going to bed at 2:30 at night from fucking playing chess all night and shit and smoking. Baked chess. Playing baked chess. I hate that goddamn bird out there. I'm gonna fucking slaughter that fucking thing. I don't care. I swear, I want to kill it. I don't give a goddamn fuck at this point. I am gonna find that goddamn nest. Leave me alone, you fucker.
And America.
Wait, hold up. What's this? The digital nomad guy.
In 2025, it is legal in America. In America, in 2025, it is legal to be a billionaire. It is illegal to sleep outside. Let's think about that. You can accumulate more wealth than the bottom 90% of the country combined. But if you have nowhere to sleep tonight, you are a criminal. One Supreme Court ruling, one presidential executive order, 320 new laws in the 12 months that followed. This video is about what is being built in this country, who is building it, who is funding it, and where it is going. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is documented. Let's go through it. Let's start with what is actually happening. June 28th, 2024. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 in City of Grants Pass versus Johnson that cities can arrest, fine, and jail people for sleeping outside, even when there are 0 shelter beds available, even when the person has literally nowhere else to go, even when sleeping is the only thing they are doing. Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote the dissent. She said the majority was allowing the government to punish people simply for existing, that when you make it illegal to sleep outside in every public space in the city, and there's no shelter space, you have made it illegal to be alive without money. The majority disagreed. The ruling stood. And then the legislation followed.
They don't represent you. Why would you believe a pedophile that says, "Oh yeah, no, we care about you"? Yeah, I'm a billionaire named Trump, pedophile, and why would he care about you again? I'm trying to figure that out.
In the 12 months after the ruling, cities across America introduced over 320 new bills criminalizing homelessness. Nearly 220 of them passed. 320 bills, 12 months, that doesn't happen on its own. Florida's HB 1365 took effect October 1st, 2024. It bans sleeping or camping on any public property. It gives residents and business owners the legal right to sue their local government if they allow it. Not just the ability to complain, the legal standing to file civil action against the city for not arresting poor people fast enough. The Florida Senate's own data shows Florida's unsheltered homeless population increased by nearly 10% in the same period the law was written to address it. The law did not reduce homelessness, it criminalized it. Oklahoma, Missouri, Georgia, Utah, Kentucky, Tennessee, Texas. The same law with slight variations passed in 8 states and counting. The language is nearly identical across all of them. There is a reason for that, and we'll get into it.
Who's putting most of these laws in? A foreign fucking genocidal, pedophilic fucking country called Israel.
But first, who are the people these laws apply to? Federal data shows that anywhere from 40 to 60% of people experiencing homelessness have a job. They work, they just can't afford a roof. The system that was supposed to protect them has made their survival strategy a crime, and the laws being passed are ensuring that the trap has no exit. Now, why does the law look the same in Florida, in Oklahoma, in Georgia, in Utah? Well, that's because it was written by the same organization, the Cicero Institute, a conservative think tank founded in 2016 and run by Joe Lonsdale, a Silicon Valley billionaire who co-founded Palantir Technologies, the surveillance and data mining company whose products have been used by the CIA, by U.S. immigration enforcement, and by local police departments across the country. His mentor and early business partner was Peter Thiel. The Cicero Institute produces what they call model legislation, a template.
The Satanist Peter Thiel billionaire that wants to kill you and doesn't think humans should exist.
Anti-homelessness bill that state lawmakers can take directly to their legislature and introduce it with their own name on it. The bill bans camping on public land, imposes fines up to $5,000 for repeat violations, facilitates involuntary psychiatric commitment, and penalizes cities that refuse to enforce it by cutting their state funding. Rolling Stone put it plainly, this went from a pet project of a few tech billionaires to a political weapon used in states across the country. That template has been introduced in 15 states. It has passed in 8. But why? What is the actual goal here? There are 3 answers to that question, and they all run simultaneously. First, ideological. He believes homelessness is a personal failure, not a housing problem. He funded Austin's camping ban himself. After it passed, Austin issued over 900 citations for sleeping outside. The homelessness population went up anyway, because fines don't build houses. Second, financial. His firm 8VC invests in private prisons. His legislation creates the population that fills them. His Palantir technology monitors them. He donated $50,000 to DeSantis. DeSantis signed the bill. Read the portfolio and the legislation side by side. They tell the same story. Third, political. J.D. Vance repeated Cicero Institute talking points word for word at a Senate hearing. Cicero's preferred measures are embedded in Project 2025, the conservative blueprint for reshaping the federal government. The legislation, Cicero writes, doesn't just criminalize sleeping outside. It strips power from local governments, forces cities to enforce state mandates or lose funding, and empowers governors to override elected attorneys general with appointed prosecutors. The homelessness legislation is a delivery mechanism for a much broader consolidation of political control. The unhoused are the justification. The power grab is the point. 3 goals, 1 template bill, passed in 8 states, introduced in 15, and backed by a presidential executive order. On July 24th, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order titled Ending Crime and Disorder on America's Streets. The order redirects federal funding away from housing first programs, the evidence-based approach that has the strongest track record of actually reducing homelessness, and towards cities that enforce anti-camping bans, criminalize loitering, and move homeless people into what the order calls institutional settings. Forced institutionalization. The order directs the Attorney General and the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
You cannot make this shit up.
To work to reverse federal and state level court protections that prevent.
This shit is so evil and insane. It's as if an alien is doing this shit. I mean, that's what it looks like. I mean, that's what it's like. You're not being, these are anti-human. You're being treated like you're not even human. The people that are human.
Prevent involuntary psychiatric commitment.
It's insane.
Meaning the legal guardrails that stop the government from locking people up against their will without criminal charges simply because they have no. Utah became the test case. In September 2025, Utah announced plans to build a 1,300-bed facility on a 16-acre parcel of land in northwest Salt Lake City, near the airport, on the edge of the city, away from services and public transit. State officials call it a services campus, an accountability center, a humane alternative to the streets. Here's what the plans actually include. Hundreds of beds reserved for people who are civilly committed, meaning court-ordered into treatment against their will. A secure residential placement facility where people who are sanctioned to be there cannot leave voluntarily. And what the state's own homelessness leaders described in planning documents as work-conditioned housing, meaning residents must perform labor as a condition of their stay. Eric Tars, legal director at the National Homelessness Law Center, said that last detail is the most alarming. Work-conditioned housing, he said, means forced labor. Louisiana and West Virginia have introduced similar provisions in their own legislation, requiring people arrested for camping to perform hard labor or facility upkeep. The facility is projected to cost $75 million to build and $34 million per year to operate. For comparison, a supportive housing model similar to one running in Miami-Dade County would accomplish the same goal for $27.3 million annually. The detention model costs more. It just removes people from view more effectively. Governor Spencer Cox called the project his top priority for the 2026 legislative session and described it as one of the most significant steps forward in decades. Jesse Rabinowitz of the National Homelessness Law Center said, "It is what they did in World War II in Japanese detention camps." The legal director called it a pilot program, a model for rolling out similar facilities across the country. Utah is not an experiment, it is a blueprint. As of early 2026, Utah's homelessness population had surged to its highest level on record, nearly 4,600 people, an 18% increase from the year before. The answer being built is not more housing, it is a 1,300-bed facility where people who have nowhere to sleep can be confined, committed, and put to work. Oklahoma proposed legislation that would ban homeless shelters from operating in all but 2 cities in the entire state. Not reduce, not regulate, ban. At the same time, Trump signed the executive order criminalizing homelessness. His administration proposed cutting federal rental assistance in half. In November 2025, HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, sent a notice to homeless service providers across the country telling them they had 2 weeks over the holiday season to completely restructure their programs away from housing first or lose their federal funding. 2 weeks during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Programs that had spent years building relationships and infrastructure were told to tear it down or go broke. After Grants Pass came down, Lonsdale went public to celebrate. And the first person he thanked by name was Leonard Leo. If you don't know the name, Leo is the man who spent the last 2 decades handpicking and positioning the conservative judges who now sit on federal courts, including the Supreme Court.
Anyway, it's a bunch of fucking criminals, man. It's a bunch of fucking criminals that are so evil that it's insane. It's insane. It's fucking insane. Oh, I'm going crazy, dude. This thing's fucking pissing me the fuck off. Shut the fuck up! God damn, shut the fuck up.
Tonight, somewhere near you, a nurse is sleeping in her car. She clocked out 2 hours ago. 12-hour shift. $32 an hour. She did everything right. And that parking lot, that's her home. But here's what makes this story different from anything you've seen before. The government has no idea she exists. No report, no statistic, no funding decision accounts for her. As far as the official data is concerned, she isn't homeless, which means the number you've heard your entire life. It's not slightly wrong. It's hiding millions of people. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly who they are, why nobody's counting them, and why this crisis is already much closer to your life than you think. Let's start with the number itself. 650,000. That's the official count of homeless Americans on any given night. Politicians cite it. Media outlets repeat it without question. Billions of dollars in federal funding get allocated based on it every single year. Now here's how that number is actually produced. Once a year, volunteers go out on a single night, usually in winter, and count the people they can physically see. People in shelters, people in tents, people sleeping visibly on sidewalks. That's it. One night, once a year. And that snapshot is treated as the definitive measure of homelessness in the entire country. Think about what that method cannot possibly capture. It misses people sleeping in cars and vans. It misses families doubled up in a single apartment with nowhere else to turn. It misses people cycling through motels, storage units, and friends' couches every few weeks. These people are spread out, often deliberately hidden, and nearly impossible to locate on one winter night. So how far off is the official count? The US Department of Education tracks homeless students separately, using a broader, more accurate definition of housing instability. Their count found over 1.3 million public school students identified as homeless in a single academic year. Just the children. That number already exceeds the entire official national homeless count for all ages combined. Children living in vehicles and motels qualify as homeless under education standards. But those same children are routinely excluded from the federal housing statistics that shape funding and policy. The undercounting isn't a rounding error. It's a structural blind spot, and it has a direct cost. When the official numbers are too low, the response is always too small. The gap between the real scale of this crisis and the resources available to address it grows wider every single year. But the undercounting is only half of what makes this crisis so misunderstood. The bigger surprise is who's actually inside it. Most people assume homelessness is caused by unemployment, that if someone loses their home, they lost their job first. The data says something completely different. Studies across major cities show that between 30 and 40% of homeless adults are currently employed, some full-time, some holding 2 or 3 jobs at once, and that percentage is rising. So how is that even possible? Median rent has surpassed $2,000 a month. A full-time worker earning $18 an hour takes home roughly $28,000 to $3,000 after taxes. Once rent is paid, almost nothing remains for food, transportation, healthcare, or anything unexpected. No buffer, no margin, and things always go wrong. One
No buffer, no margin, no safety net.
missed shift, one car repair.
The government who's supposed to be your safety net is your enemy, the predator.
One medical bill. The numbers don't just tighten, they collapse. Warehouse workers sleep in vehicles near the distribution centers where they work. Healthcare aides live in vans blocks from their hospitals. Teachers quietly stay in motels during the week because commuting from somewhere affordable isn't viable anymore. This is documented by unions, school districts, and city governments across the country. When full-time work no longer guarantees a roof, homelessness stops being a social problem. It becomes an economic signal, a warning light almost nobody is reading. To understand why wages and rents drifted this far apart this fast, you have to look at one specific 4-year window. Between 2020 and 2024, national average rents rose 30 to 40%. In cities like Miami, Phoenix, Tampa, and Austin, 50 to 70% in just 4 years. Wages rose too, but only 15 to 20% for most workers.
Oops.
That gap is the mechanism, the direct reason millions of households got pushed to the edge.
There you go.
A family paying $1,200 a month in 2020.
Gap of all prices, everything going up except your income. The gap of everything in the fucking world going up except what matters, your income. So the same people, the corporations that employ you, raise the prices of everything, and they don't raise your salary.
20 might now face a renewal at $1,800 or $1,900. Same unit, same building. That $600 or $700 difference isn't a luxury cut. It's a car payment, a month of groceries, a child's after-school care, gone, and it compounds every year. There's a reason this accelerated so fast, and it isn't just supply and demand. Over the past decade, institutional investors and private equity firms bought enormous amounts of housing stock specifically to run as profit-generating assets. Algorithmic pricing tools pushed rents faster than any individual landlord would have historically applied. Strict income requirements, large deposits, application fees, and automatic late penalties made the system harder to re-enter the moment anyone experienced even a brief financial disruption. But here's what most people don't realize about what happens next. It isn't just the rent increase that destroys stability. It's the legal process that follows. In 2023, over 3 million eviction cases were filed across the United States. 3 million. Many cities reported increases of 20 to 40% compared to pre-pandemic levels. When COVID protections expired, landlords moved quickly, and the result was a concentrated wave aimed directly at households with the least cushion. But losing the apartment is only the beginning. An eviction record follows a person through the rental market for up to 7 years. A single filing, even one that was contested, even one that never resulted in removal, can disqualify someone from renting in most competitive markets. A person who stabilizes their income within months can still find themselves locked out of housing for years. A week of reduced hours. An unexpected expense delaying rent by 10 days. A childcare disruption that causes a missed shift. Any one of those ordinary events can permanently alter someone's housing future. And increasingly, eviction isn't a last resort. In high-demand markets, many landlords file specifically to remove long-term tenants and reset rents for new ones. Each filing pushes more people into instability faster than any assistance program can absorb. The legal system designed to resolve disputes between landlords and tenants has become something else entirely. It became an accelerant. Have you seen this playing out in your city? Drop it in the comments. The fastest growing form of homelessness in America doesn't appear in tent encampments or on sidewalks. It parks legally when it can, moves when it has to, and works hard not to be noticed. Vehicle dwelling, living full-time in cars, vans, and RVs, is now the dominant form of homelessness growth across the country. In Los Angeles County alone, more than 100,000 people are estimated to be living in vehicles right now. Fewer than half appear in official counts. In Seattle, San Diego, Phoenix, and Austin, vehicle communities have expanded significantly, clustering near hospitals, warehouses, and industrial zones where overnight parking is less likely to be challenged. The calculation people make is deliberate. A vehicle offers privacy, security, and shelter. It lets someone keep a job, shower at a gym, and avoid the dangers that often come with emergency shelters. For many people, a vehicle isn't the worst available option. It's the best one. But it's deeply precarious in a way that's hard to appreciate from the outside. A transmission failure, a flat tire, a dead battery. These aren't inconveniences for someone living in their car. They are housing emergencies. Cities have responded primarily through enforcement, parking bans, overnight restrictions, towing campaigns. These tools don't reduce the number of people living in vehicles. They push them somewhere else. Every time a community gets cleared, outreach workers lose contact with people they'd spent weeks building trust with. Medical referrals fall apart. Housing applications get abandoned. Everything resets to zero. Among all vehicle dwellers, one group has become especially visible, and their situation reveals just how far this crisis has drifted from anything policy was designed to handle. For most of American history, living in an RV meant one thing: retirement, open highways, freedom, a choice. That image no longer tells the whole story. Today, a growing share of full-time RV occupants are there not by preference, but by economic elimination. Rising rents, eviction records, and a severe housing shortage have made old, used RVs one of the last accessible forms of shelter for people who've run out of other options. Used RV prices surged after 2020, then fell, not because demand disappeared, but because financially distressed owners were forced to sell. Many RVs being lived in right now are old, poorly maintained, and in constant need of repairs their occupants can't afford. Cities that once tolerated RV communities in industrial zones have increasingly moved to eliminate them. When enforcement arrives, people aren't moved into housing, they're moved into smaller vehicles, or onto the street, or into nothing. RV parks aren't a realistic alternative either. Monthly lot fees in many markets run $800 to $1,200 or more, often without utilities.
Nuts.
For someone already priced out of a standard apartment.
Just for somewhere to fucking park and survive. The land grab thing is a scam. Paying to exist is a scam, folks. Okay? This whole idea of having to pay to exist is slavery. It's a scam. Okay? There's land, empty land everywhere, and they're not letting you use it. That's a problem. That's a scam. When a little group of people confines the entire population into tiny little fucking 15-minute cities, basically, is what they are right now, it's a scam.
That's the same unaffordable math in a different format. For many families, an aging
The entire population of the world has been corralled into cities, prison cities. Corralled off all the free land. Off all the free land that was once free, that has now a price on it because a pedophile said so. You're being ruled because you're being rolled over and dictated.
RV is the single barrier between them and open air.
Folks, the government is your ruler.
Homelessness. And that barrier gets thinner every day. As the vehicle ages,
It rolls over you.
repairs go unfunded, and cities run out of tolerance for where it can legally sit. So what happens when a city decides to move them out? The answer matters, because what cities reach for almost always makes the underlying problem significantly worse. As homelessness has grown, most American cities have reached for one response above all others: enforcement.
No matter how crazy the fucking law is. The pedophile order followers will enforce these pedophiles' crazy laws onto the people.
Camping laws, vehicle restrictions, aggressive clearances, citation campaigns. In 2024, the Supreme Court issued a ruling permitting broader enforcement of anti-camping laws, and local governments moved quickly to expand their use. The political appeal is obvious. Enforcement makes homelessness less visible, and in politics, less visible is often treated as the same thing as solved. But enforcement doesn't reduce homelessness, it relocates it. Fines for violations related to homelessness routinely.
So every single time, instead of addressing what created the problem, the homelessness, they just want to criminalize it, hide it, instead of address what the real problem is. Of course, because government is the problem and it can never fix what it created. They want you to be homeless. That's why they make laws like this. The laws they make are clearly all completely criminal.
Run from $250 to $1,000 or more. Someone who can't afford rent cannot pay a $500 fine. That unpaid fine becomes a
fine to who? You know, like, why are you being ruled by the government like this? Why does the government, such an evil asshole that constantly has to roll over us and it needs to fine everybody nonstop? Where does it get its authority and right to do that? With force, not by anything else, because nobody has authority over another person. See, they don't understand that. It's so easy to understand. Another person doesn't have authority over another person. They're equal. You can't force them against their free will. Well, it's called rape.
The warrant. That warrant complicates future housing applications. The system meant to push people towards stability ends up pulling the floor out from under them. Towing is the most...
My policemen are the biggest rapists. They're more than happy to rape you of your freedoms, and politicians for that matter.
Immediately devastating tool. Reclaiming a towed vehicle typically costs between $1,500 and $3,000 in fees and storage charges. The vehicle is gone.
Trump the rapist.
Shelter is gone. The job often disappears the same day because the transportation and the housing were the same thing. And there's a cost that almost never makes the news. Outreach workers build trust slowly. Weeks, sometimes months of consistent contact before someone in crisis will accept help. When enforcement sweeps clear an area, everyone scatters. Those relationships break instantly. Medical referrals lapse. Housing placement processes collapse. Everything has to be rebuilt from scratch somewhere new. Criminalization converts poverty into a legal offense and then makes the poverty worse through the penalties it imposes. The crisis doesn't disappear. It becomes harder to see, harder to reach, and harder to solve. When cities look away from enforcement and toward the
Check out across the states. We're not going to watch all this. We got too much shit to show. God, that shit's annoying. Yeah, that's annoying. That's crazy.
Pounds. Dollar General. You're not going to believe what I found. I had to go get my scale. Let's go weigh what I found. You want to see a scale problem with cat food? Look at this thing. 9 lives, 12 pounds. Let's give it some more weight. 6 pounds, 6.1 ounces. That ain't right. Let's compare it to the Purina. 12 pounds, 12 ounces. It's short 6 pounds in the bag. How does this get past scales, onto a pallet, delivered here, off a pallet, and on the shelf? I'm going to go through all of these That ain't no 12 pounds. Dollar General. You're not going to believe what I found. I had.
So again, it's not just Walmart. It's all the corporations owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street / pedophiles that shouldn't be.
To go get my scale. Let's go weigh what I found. You want to?
Okay. They're scamming so hard, folks. It's so bad. When they have a monopoly on everything, they do whatever the fuck they want. We got a homestead journey here. Check her out. She's great. Americans are being priced out of their own lives, and they know it.
7 things the middle class will not be able to afford in the next 5 years, and I think it's a lot sooner than that. Number 1, housing. Unless you inherited property, struck gold, or plan to live with family,
it's going to be impossible.
Yeah.
Cars, new ones, not realistic.
Vacations. Travel savings is quietly becoming survival money.
Healthcare, insured or not, you're paying premiums, co-pays, deductibles. And that's going to eat up a lot of your money.
And medications. 5, childcare.
You got to be an idiot to ever take anything from medications or anything from these pedophile corporations.
$2,000 per child per month. It's not childcare, it's a second mortgage.
Yes, it is. And it's slowly been getting so much more expensive for people
everywhere.
Retirement. Most people aren't planning retirement. They're planning how to get through next week and the week after that and so forth. It's just impossible.
Most of the time, they're trying to figure out how to make it through the next day.
Savings, just not happening. So tell us, how are you getting through each day? We would like to know.
Let us know.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So a top official at the New York Federal Reserve, John Williams, just warned that America is facing a growing affordability crisis. He says that the lower and middle income families are being crushed by rising housing costs and everyday living expenses, even as the Fed insists that inflation is coming down. It's another reminder that while the headlines are claiming that things are getting better, millions of Americans are falling further and further behind.
So 130,000
millions of Americans.
More Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, putting retirement out of rates, report finds.
Are falling further and further behind.
So $130,000 a year is now becoming the new poor. Right now, the average household income is $83,000. That's the median household income. But then if you do the math about the taxes they take out of your pay,
If you're making that, you're fucking pimping.
paycheck, the cost of housing, the cost of transport, the health insurance premiums, and childcare.
You know what I mean? I don't mean that, obviously.
Like if you look at this graph, you're going to see that $83,000 on the average cost will leave you $10,000 in the red, right? And to be comfortable based off of the old 1960 standard of poverty rate, it was based off of how much it would take a family of 3 to eat back then. So she would take that number and multiply it by 3, and that number would be like the golden number. They'll spend a third of their money on food and everything else would comfortably fit within the other 2/3 of that number. But back then, food was the most expensive thing. Housing was cheap, transportation was cheap, and everything. But by the modern standard, if you take that same metric she used back then and shift it to now, you'd have to be making $130,000 to be comfortable the way people were under the same metric, the same mathematics back in the 1960s. And it's incredible to hear that number, $130,000, 6 figures is the new poor. But it makes sense when you consider everything is considered luxury. All the prices have gone up. Even my cat's angry about it. I hear her screaming over there. She knows it's ridiculous that everything is a luxury because not everything is a luxury, but everything.
A poor pussy cat.
Is getting that premium price tag because they're slapping luxury on every good we consume. And if you want to eat real food, even that's considered a luxury. So they're putting extra money on that as well. So
yeah, good luck even finding real food these days.
So even though I feel like it's really crazy,
better hope one rolls up on your land.
Easy to consider that number is actually correct. $130,000 does seem to be the new poverty line for a family of four. It's hard times out there, and I know a lot of people are like, I'll make that type of money, but it is hard times out there because of unrealistic expectations from the millionaires. And as you can hear, my cats are very outraged by these prices as well. So y'all have a great day.
Feed them bread and entertain them with the circus to keep them occupied so they're not paying attention to the people in power and what they're doing behind the scenes. What happens if the middle class is gone, right? Because essentially the middle class is the bread and circus, right? The objective, if I'm like an elite and I want to keep my population, in order and civilized, I make them middle class, right? So what happens if the 1% and all the corporations have all the money? What happens is society collapses, right? Because like every human relationship costs money, right? Like literally if there's no middle class in America and the 1% has all the money, America doesn't work, right? So what does that lead to? I don't know. I think we're about to find out. I think America is going to break. And then what happens after that? I don't know.
Isn't it insane that wanting a normal life now is considered a luxury? Like, we're not asking for yachts. We're not asking for mansions. We're literally just asking for a life that doesn't feel like drowning. A place to live that doesn't take our entire paycheck. A car that doesn't require a loan longer than the relationship that got us into it. The groceries that don't feel like a punishment for trying to eat. We're not chasing some billionaire fantasy. We just want a fair shot. We want time with our families. We want energy after work instead of collapsing on the couch, praying that the weekend feels longer than 6 minutes. We were told, work hard, be loyal, show up. We did. But while we're doing everything right, they kept moving the finish line. The rent went up, the food went up, the bills went up, but the paychecks haven't done shit. And the people at the top still have the nerve to tell us it's not that bad. Brother, it is bad. If being able to afford a dentist appointment means going into debt, if missing one day of work means falling behind, if a cart of basic groceries gives you anxiety, that's not a personal problem. That's a broken system. So if we sound angry, it's because we are. We're tired of being lectured by the people who've never struggled, while we're trying to survive in a system designed to keep us desperate. We don't want luxury. We just want our lives back. And the fact that even that feels like asking too damn much tells you everything.
I never wanted to come on here and like complain about money because it's embarrassing for me to do so, because I have a lot of friends and family that follow me on this account. But I guess that's what I'm going to do today. My husband and I make more than we ever have. We make a combined, I want to say over $100,000 a year pre-tax. And still at the end of every month,
we're going to take that money and steal it from you and give it to a genocidal pedophile to genocide innocent children.
Overdrawn. Like, we're in the red $1,600 every single month. I have canceled every subscription possible that I can cancel. I've canceled our streaming services. I've canceled like any gym memberships. Literally.
Yeah, you're not canceling your way out of this unless you cancel a lot of more bills.
Really, anything that I can cancel, I have. My husband is trying to pick up freelance work like in his industry. I'm trying to pick up a second job, and it's just nothing is ever enough. Nothing is ever enough. We don't eat out. We budget every single penny that we have. We shop at Walmart or Aldi for groceries.
Where they're ripping you off and selling you fake food, and then they're not even selling you 2 pounds. They're only giving you 1 pound.
Only buy what we need for that week. We
not just with one product, with fucking everything. every product they sell is a lie, a fraud.
Don't.
Every fucking one, but not just Walmart, Dollar Store, whatever the fuck that other one I showed you. All of these other ones too that dude was showing you.
Buy any extra snacks for ourselves. We always buy extra for our son, obviously, but never for like us. And with all of that budgeting and everything, we are still in the hole. Still in the hole. Like today is Tuesday. I'm overdrawn $300 in my account, and I don't get paid until Friday. And on Friday, when I do get paid,
and then don't forget that the bank is going to beat you to death in the head with a overdraft fee as well every time as well. So that's even more money punishment for being broke.
I'm going to have to call my bank and beg for them to reverse the overdraft charges and just beg that they will. And they probably won't.
Oh, are you kidding me? I was dealing with this like 20 years ago. They won't.
I don't know what else to do. Like, we are doing everything right and still coming up short. And I don't understand how.
It was hard to make it when I was growing up, man. Now it's worse than that.
People are supposed to live like this. I don't understand how this is sustainable much longer. It feels like I'm on a really shitty treadmill and I'm running in place, and I am running at a speed that is too fast for me, too fast for us. And I don't know when I'm going to fall off. And I'm just trying so hard to stay on, but I keep feeling like I'm slipping. I'm happy to know that I'm not alone in this struggle, but
oh no, because it's by design.
It's just very hard.
I just logged in to our health insurance provider, and I can't even. In July of 2025, our health insurance premium went from $59 a month to $798 a month.
Scam.
And since it is now open,
it's cheaper when you don't have it. Wake up. Guess what? Scam alert. It's cheaper when you don't have it.
Enrollment. I just logged in to our health insurance to see what, if we stay on the same plan, what our premium is going to be for 2026.
He literally, I thought he was going to faint.
$1,208.91 a month. Going our family deductible.
Bro, it's a scam. Don't get sick. It's all
gone from $0 to $11,900. Our primary care copays have doubled. Our urgent care copay went from $10 to $60. Our generic prescription copay has doubled.
I gotta kill this thing.
And this is coming off of the fact that my husband just had to have a prescription filled that is supposed to be covered.
Husband, what the fuck? Oh, no wonder. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh.
Covered by insurance. And you want to know what the copay was on that after insurance?
Something was off. He gets dick in the ass. I knew something was off.
$1,200 for a prescription. On top of.
Don't buy it. No.
Everyone is
no.
A high school and find like we wanted, right? Class. And I know this economy is some bullshit. And I know it's some bullshit because I remember when I was in high school, I took a personal finance class. And one of our assignments was we had to find a career we wanted, right? We had to go on Indeed or a job website and find like a wage, a salary, whatever for that job, right? Then with that salary, we had to find a house that we could afford and a car that we could afford, right? I don't remember what career, whatever that I picked, but I know it was around making like $80-some thousand a year. I was able to have that career, have a nice car and a nice house and still be chilling. I don't think people understand how out of hand the cost of living is. For a long time, a brand new car was gonna run you between 20 to 25 stacks. Them luxury BMWs, Mercedes, whatever, that'll run you about 30. You know what I'm saying? Them nice Altimas, Camrys, and all this and all that. Brand new, them things used to be about 15 or 18 stacks. Nice ass apartments. They gonna run you about $800 or $900. A regular, schmegular apartment, maybe about $600-700. You living in the hood, it was probably about $400 a month. You know, everything made sense. Now, especially.
No, my first mortgage payment was $600 a month, like $612 a month, something like that. That was a whole house.
With apartments, it's either I want to get taxed for some bullshit,
like 76 grand or something like that.
Or I want to live in the hood. There's like no in between anymore. The housing market is crazy. Used cars, the price that people be trying to sell these used cars for is, if you want a decent price for a used car, it's gonna have over 100,000 miles on it.
I am somewhere between we can't afford that and we need to save money, and I will cash out my 401k for a dirty martini.
So I was just out on a walk right now, and check out these homes next to this path that I'm on. I was looking these homes up on Zillow, and you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of $615, $625, $650 in some cases for these really tiny houses. I mean, they're not very big. You can see the properties they're sitting on.
There's no elbow room. They're stacked right next to each other.
They're tiny, and yet people want $650,000 for these homes at what, 6.25% interest rates? No wonder nobody can afford anything.
So let me tell you why getting out of debt is not practical. It's not a realistic goal if you're, a millennial or younger. So I did the Dave Ramsey's course for a few years. And if you don't know what
let's keep going. We got black-rocked. God. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? We got Bub Scat in the house, Murph Laws, Midnight Smoker, Joker. Yeah, it's not good to get black-rocked, folks. You don't want to do that. What's this shit?
Is illegal. Last year, it killed 480,000 people. Marijuana is illegal. Last year, it killed 480,000 people.
What?
Never mind, that's tobacco. Sorry. All right. 140,000. Marijuana killed 140,000 people last year. Alcohol. Sorry. You got my numbers mixed up here. 500. It's got to be 500.
Wow.
This is a dangerous illegal substance. We must ban it. We cannot let it be legal. 500 people died. Oh, that's Tylenol. We are talking about a substance with no lethality.
Bruh.
The time for marijuana prohibition is over. Marijuana is illegal.
Yep, zero lethality. You can kill yourself any way you want, alcohol, tobacco. But if you want to heal yourself with a medicine like cannabis, no, that's never killed anybody ever that actually heals you. Nope, it's illegal. We got to make it illegal. It's like they're mentally ill in this world, man. You're being ruled by a bunch of fucking mentally ill retards. I mean, I feel like I wake up every day in a world that's being ruled by mental illness, by mentally ill retards. The world is ruled by mentally ill retards that are psychopathic, genocidal pedophiles. It's insane. It's nuts.
Most people don't know who they are. They really don't.
What do you mean? I mean, I know my name, I know my age, I know where I live.
That's not you, though. If you ask the average person who they are, they'll give you their name. They'll say, I'm Bob Proctor, but I'm not. Bob and Proctor are two words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
You know, we don't say M hand or M leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on three planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies.
Okay.
But because we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
They're not really living at all. 95% of the world is not really living at all. Why is it? We got black rocked. Sure did that.
Feel this is almost an ounce light. When is this shit going to stop with Walmart? We need to create awareness, guys. We need to get this out there. How many items do I have to go in and find for them? There is no quality control here. Absolutely nothing. All right, ready for the next Walmart scale fraud product? The great value hickory smoked bacon. Do you think that these are going to weigh 1 pound in the package? I just went through these right here. I picked a few out. Let's go weigh them. They have my 100-gram weight. Let's weigh these up. There we go, 100 grams. 15.3. No, it's under. 15.5. This one. 15.2. 15.3. Let's lay this one all the way across. 15.1. That's almost an ounce under in the package. In the package. Literally feel this. You can feel this is almost an ounce light. There's nothing in here. This is scale fraud. Oh, what do you know? They got one. 0.95. This is why you have to check everything when you come into Walmart. Sorry, guys, but I can't report everything that I find, or they won't let me in here anymore.
Yeah, well, dollar store as well, he was talking about too.
So be aware, guys. Make sure you're checking your meat.
That's what she said. That's what she said.
I mean, you can literally feel this. You can.
Man, I can't believe these fucking birds, dude. Unbelievably annoying. These little tiny fucking things. What the fuck is that? God, they're fucking loud for how small they are. Oh, they just won't stop badgering. Let's see which one. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Larkin Rose here in a snazzy bush. So I've recorded my talk up in Prescott, and here it is. I spend much of my time and energy, and have for 30 years now, advocating for the rest of humanity something far better for them than what they advocate for themselves, which is weird. And I don't just mean that I advocate some system or plan that I think would work better and they advocate some other thing that they would work better. That would just be a difference of prediction and expectation. That would be normal. I'm talking about something way weirder than that. Now, like many in the freedom movement, kind of hate that term, but whatever, I spend lots of time arguing against people who advocate that others be taxed and regulated and controlled and restricted and oppressed and abused and so on by government. But today, I just want to focus on the fact that most people also advocate that they themselves be robbed, coerced, subjugated, and mistreated, which is extra weird. If by analogy I said, hey, random person, I don't want you to be robbed. I don't want anyone, let's say, stealing your car today. Now, granted, that's a weird thing to just say to somebody out of the blue, but who would disagree with that? No, someone should steal my car. That's how things are, and that's how things must be, and how they should be. Someone stealing my car is necessary and good for society. Nobody would say that. Bet most of you know where this is going, but if I tell someone, I don't want you to be robbed by government, I don't want you to be taxed for anything, not an income tax, not a property tax, not a sales tax, nothing. Yes, some people would say, well, that would be nice, but that's not going to happen. But a significant number of people will actually argue against it, saying that everyone, including themselves, should be taxed. Some even openly take pride in paying
These people are mentally ill, statist.
their taxes. You're proud that you got robbed. It's not like you freely chose it.
It's crazy. These people are so brainwashed. They have such Stockholm syndrome that they're proud to be ripped off by their fellow criminal.
Government threatens to do nasty things to you if you don't pay tribute to the ruling class. I can see cooperating to not have nasty things happen to you, but being proud of getting extorted. And of course, lots of normal people at this point will say, well, if we need a new bridge or we need to maintain the roads, then I think we should chip in for blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's nice. I wasn't saying you shouldn't be allowed to voluntarily contribute to things that you think are good, things you actually want. I want to donate to help the poor or build a library or whatever. Sure, cool, absolutely. Of course you should be allowed to do that. And I wasn't saying people shouldn't get together and pool their resources to accomplish bigger things that benefit the common good and that people want to support. That's not what taxes are. Taxation, by its very nature, means you are coerced into handing over money, and you don't get to decide the amount of it, and you don't get to decide where the money goes. So when I say I don't want you to be taxed, all it means is I don't want you to be forced to pay for things that you don't want to pay for, whatever that may be, warmongering or a welfare state or whatever. So, dear 8 billion or so people that I don't even know, I, Larkin Rose, don't want you to be forced to fund anything that you don't want to fund. I want you to not be robbed at all by anyone, including government. That is what I want for you.
Yes.
Most people don't want that for themselves.
True. They're not.
Which, once again, is really damn weird. I want you to be free. And often the response is, no thanks. Why on earth do people respond like that? I'm going to get to that. First, I'm going to go flying off on this tangent. One dude near the top of my list of people worth admiring is Frederick Douglass, a man who was raised to be the property of others. He lived much of his life as a slave, being constantly told and surrounded by people who really and truly believed that someone else owned him, that his time, his effort, his body, his life were the property of another human being. And while his physical escape from slavery was impressive and brave and admirable, his mental escape, his psychological escape to me was far more impressive. Now, to those of us living here and now, it can be really hard to really relate to that at all, to understand what it was actually like to be a slave. I believe, for example, that most normal people today would assume that, of course, every slave knew that slavery was evil and illegitimate. No, they didn't. And of course, every slave would have run away given the chance. No, they wouldn't. Frederick Douglass described how a lot of slaves wouldn't try to run away because they viewed that as stealing themselves from their master, who they viewed as their rightful owner. But how on earth could anybody be brought to a point where they actually believe that, where they actually think that about themselves? In Frederick Douglass's words, quote, "To make a contented slave, it is necessary to make a thoughtless one. It is necessary to darken his moral and mental vision, and as far as possible, to annihilate the power of reason. He must be able to detect no inconsistencies in slavery. He must be made to feel that slavery is right, and he can be brought to that only when he ceases to be a man," end quote. Most people today would hear that and rightfully think, yeah, that's horrible and sad and evil to do that to people. But we would never fall for that. Modern man is super duper rational and objective and reasonable and not so easily fooled. We are thinking, enlightened beings now. Yeah, no, not really. We human beings, speaking for the group, still constantly do stupid crap and constantly believe stupid crap. And there are two main reasons why this happened. One, indoctrination, and two, something I call mental inertia. Now, I and many of others have spoken at great length about indoctrination, so I'm not going to cover that in depth today. I will remind people that indoctrination only works if people don't know that it's indoctrination. So if you're saying I wasn't indoctrinated, I was educated.
So check out, you can check that out. That's Larson Rose. Excuse me. Where are you trying to move to? Why don't you fucking move somewhere near North Carolina here so fucking we can all get together and fight these bastards? Out here in the woods where these birds don't shut the fuck up. Fucking nuts. Never heard these birds anywhere, ever, anywhere else. Yeah, that classic clock tower in Back to the Future was in every small town and building back in the old world, man. I mean, that was the thing. That was how it was. Oh, man, this thing's really pissing me the goddamn fuck off. Good God, man. Jesus fucking sucks. Oh my God, another one. Now I got them all going crazy. It's a nightmare. Oh my God, shut the fuck up, dude. How many of these things do I gotta hear? Go away. It's fucking like living in a jungle. Okay, here we go. Oh my God, y'all can compete against each other to see who's not more fucking annoying. Wow, it's mind-boggling. Okay, let's play some videos. Here we go. There are going to be a lot of different ones. Like this one will change to the next.
Back at Walmart again. This is my fourth trip to Walmart. I'm at one of the same ones I was at before. I'm going to keep it in real time, and we're going to look. Look, I'll tell you right now, that's not 4.94 pounds. See how easy it is? So this is the second time with Kentucky Legend. This is the same Walmart that I found the other Kentucky Legend in for $25. That's how, look at this one. There's another one. There's another one. There's two. Because, I mean, it's that easy. I know that doesn't weigh that. I found two.
Because they're fucking tiny.
I found two in 20 seconds. Do you think that one weighs 5.4? So that's 3 in 30 seconds. Let's take it to the produce scale and weigh it. Let's see what they weigh. This isn't crazy. This is insane. All right. First, let's see if the scale is correct. There's a 2-pound weight from Sporting Goods. Scale's over by 0.02. All right, let's weigh these one by one. $1.83. It says 4.93.
1.83, but they're selling it as 3.
What's this one saying? 5.41. 2.32. 4.54. Come on now. Another one. 4.93. 1.83. Another one. 5.62. 2.53. 4.80. 1.71.
Damn.
5.1. 5.51. 2.41.
Damn.
Somebody do the math on some of these. Put it in the chat. Go ahead. Go to work. Let's get them. Up, it's time to go see management. Let's see what they have to say about it. All right. Back at Walmart again.
Okay. This fucker's a dirty. He's dirty. He's dirty. Oh, here's a funny one. Here's a joke right here. Wait, hold up. Okay, when you know it's time to get new glasses. Here's how you know. Here's how you know when it's time to get some new fucking glasses. This guy needs some glasses because his glasses ain't worth a fuck. Come on. Woo! Oh, that's good, right? Oh, man.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I just want to put this out there and let you know you are not alone. There are a lot of people out there who think like you do, who just want freedom. They just want to be left alone, and they're catching on. They're waking up, and they're setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men.
I was thinking, I feel sorry for young people today. This fucking economy sucks. When me and Greg got married in 1989, we both had paid off cars. We bought this house. We had $3,000 down. I was making a little bit above minimum wage at JCPenney's. Greg was a manager in one of the shoe stores in the mall. We bought a 3-story house. It was an old house. You know, this house like 126 years old or whatever. I mean, it needed a lot of work. And over time, you know, we finally got it sided, the roof put on. You know, that took a while. I don't think 2 people working retail jobs in the mall can afford to buy a house today and have 2 paid off cars. And then the wife gets pregnant and she stays home, because that's what I did. That is so unattainable. And why do you have to get yourself an incredible amount of debt to get a job that will pay you halfway decent, and then you're paying off all this debt? Why can't we just graduate high school? You want to go to college or you don't. And then you get a job and you build a life. Simple, you know, you're not asking to be a fucking millionaire. You just want, and I'm so tired of survive. No, in this country, in the United States, everybody in this country should be thriving, not surviving.
Right.
If you go to work every day, you should be thriving.
Get him, Boo-Boo.
Something's got to change. And I am neither side. I'm neither Republican or Democrat, because they're both evil and crooked. This system is set. It's controlled opposition with the illusion you have a fucking choice. You don't.
And that's what it is. It's the illusion of choice. The statistics are that 60 to 70% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford a flat tire or to get that leaky roof replaced. A lot of people are losing their jobs, losing their rentals, sleeping in their cars or in storage facilities. There are people on the internet who actually have carved out a niche for themselves on social media by showing how you can make a house inside a storage facility without getting caught. And regular people don't ask for much. They just want to be free. Seriously, they just want to be left alone. They want to earn and take home 100% of everything they went to work for. But with the fiat currency Ponzi scheme that we have called the Federal Reserve Note or the FRN, they bleed away the value of the product of your time and laboring energies. So they basically control you. They control your time. They control your labor. And if you've got somebody's labor and time in the palm of your hand, you control the person. Listen to the wisdom of this guy.
Who gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't create? We should not be paying anything for our existence on this earth. Let that sink in. Let it scrape again.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Land. I told you this. Who's charging you for land that they never paid for, or water? Watch this. Back it up. Back it up.
It's everything that you've been taught.
God damn it. What? I fucking hate
because
retard.
The most insane.
Fucking retard too, bro. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Listen to the wisdom of this guy.
Who gave them the right to charge us for water and land they didn't?
Who gave them the right to charge us water and land?
Create.
That they didn't create.
We should not be paying anything for our existence on this earth. Let that sink in. Let it scrape against everything that you've been taught. Because the most insane idea humanity ever normalized is that you owe money simply for being alive. You were born here without consent on a planet you did not create, under a sky that no government ever hung, breathing air that no corporation manufactured, and somehow you start life already in debt. That's not normal. That's not moral. That is not even sane.
And with the advent of the Federal Reserve, they keep kicking the can down the road, increasing the national debt and creating transgenerational debt slavery that
devalues the buying power of the dollar you're trying to work for again and again and again. It's like beating a dead horse.
Everybody is expected to pay for it. They extract the value of the dollar by spending it first. And then when it trickles down to us and we're ready to spend it, it's weakened in its purchasing power and we're buying less and less food, less and less gas for more and more money.
Explain to me how land became owned. Explain how water became a bill. Explain how shelter became rent, movement became a license, and rest became something you have to earn after selling most of your waking hours. They didn't just monetize labor, they monetized survival. And the moment survival has a price tag,
Monetized existence. Who? The people charging you taxes and fees and all this shit.
freedom is gone, because if you must comply to be allowed to live, that is not choice. That is coercion, wearing a suit and calling itself civilization. And don't insult people by calling this just how the world works. That phrase is the psychological gag they stuff in your mouth before they tighten the leash. Miss enough payments and watch how fast the mask drops. They don't just take your house. They don't just shut off your utilities. They take your mobility. They take your dignity. They cage your body, all because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee for being alive.
And taking your dignity.
All because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee to stay alive.
And demoralizing you is exactly what they aim to do and do when you go out and vote for the chains of your own oppression and the left versus taking your dignity.
Because you failed to keep up with the subscription fee for being alive.
And taking your dignity and demoralizing you is exactly what they aim to do and do when you go out and vote for the chains of your own oppression and the left versus right paradigm.
When they trick you into voting, you can't complain, you're demoralized. And it makes you end up actually trying to defend it. That's not things that are undefendable, like voting.
Paradigm lie where they give you the illusion of choice, which is no choice at all.
That's not order. That is a threat backed by force. Work itself is not the enemy. Contribution is natural. Humans have always built, always grown, always created, and always shared. What is evil is when contribution stops being voluntary and becomes a condition for survival. What is evil is when fear of hunger, homelessness, and medical neglect is used as the whip. And that fear is not accidental, it's engineered. It keeps you obedient, tired, and arguing with your neighbor instead of questioning the system that's draining you dry. No moral system, none, can justify charging human beings for access to the earth they were born on. If a system requires you to earn the right to exist, then that system is illegitimate at its core. And if hearing this makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the sound of a lie cracking. You're not lazy for questioning this. You're not crazy for feeling it's wrong. You're dangerous because you're starting to realize the truth. You were never meant to pay for your own existence.
And those who desire to be ignorant and free desire what never was and what never shall be. This is how completely they want to control us with their newfangled AI technology.
I've seen a few posts about this and I wanted to comment on it because I have a personal experience with it. It isn't something that's happening in the future, it's something that's happening now. I rented a car in Europe, and as the woman handed me the car keys, she said, "This is a brand new car." And she was like super excited about it. She was like, "It's 2026, it's a brand new car." And I was like, "Awesome, no one's had a chance to like fart or smoke in it. This will be great." And I'd driven it for a day or two, and I was getting on a highway. It was a 6-lane highway. And all of a sudden, the gas stopped working. And I'm pressing on the gas. I can't get the car to go. So the car is dinging. It's making all this noise, and I can't figure out what's going on. And I look at the dashboard, and in English, it says, "Sit up straight. We can't find your eyes." Why do you need to see my eyes? That was my first thought. And I'm short, so I sit low in the seat. And I guess, I don't know, maybe I'd been driving a while and I'd kind of slouch down more instead of sitting upright. And when I sat upright, the gas would work once again. And so I pressed the gas, but I was slowing down enough that it was going to cause a traffic hazard. And the thing is, it knew I wasn't asleep because I was pressing on the gas. So it knew I was awake. It just wanted to see my eyes. So once I sat upright and leaned forward, I guess it did facial recognition. And then it says, "May I send you these results to a third party?" To which I said, "No, you may not." No. Who is the third party? First of all, who's watching me drive the car to begin with? Secondly, who is the third party you're sending it to? And lastly, it is so dangerous. There are so many scenarios where
This shit
losing
is so dystopian, mentally ill. Anybody who wants to do this should be immediately executed from government. Immediately. What kind of maniac would want to do this to his fellow man? An alien. I don't give a shit. You need to kill these people in government that are trying to do this shit to us.
control of the gas can put a car in a very dangerous situation. Like, what if I was pulling out in front of a semi truck? What if I was going over a railroad track? And the absolute worst part is the argument for this is to combat sleepy drivers. And the truth is, if you fall asleep
There
while
is no problems with sleepy, but there is no problem with sleepy drivers. It's like 0.00% cause of any problems. So that's nonsense. Even if it was, you don't have the authority to tell anybody else what to do. Elephant in the room. You don't get to tell your fellow man what to do. Okay? You never, ever are allowed to regulate anyone because you're not their daddy. Respect their freedom, you fucking pedophile fucks.
you're driving, you're not going to be pushing down all the way on the gas. You're going to let up. You're going
And the excuse for technocracy and oligarchy and any kind of control is always going to be the safety of the people. Hey, the public welfare, the general welfare of the people. You want people to be safe, don't you? And then you're painted as the villain when you resist these new technologies, which can bring on a whole new set of dangers. But you don't want to be controlled. Isn't it better to have dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery? This is an enslavement and control system that they're trying to set up. And every day they're planning against us, creating technologies to replace us, fashioning networks to surveil us, devaluing our currency so they can control us.
to relax. No one keeps their foot pointed while they're asleep. And if they say, well, what about cruise control? Then just take off cruise control. Disable cruise control in cars. That's the solution. Not, I need to see your eyeballs for the car to work. There's so many dangerous implications.
Mentally ill and crazy, man, to allow somebody to force somebody to make a vehicle like this. This is anybody who would want this should be immediately executed
for this. But even if you're using it just for the good implication, sleepy drivers, we need to see eyeballs at all times. It's still wrong. It's still a stupid idea.
Because somebody will always want to use that technology to exploit and control other people.
Ford already said they were going to give it to the cops, the fucking pedophile fucking dick lovers.
This is a moneymaker. It's a transfer of power, and it centralizes control in the hands of the few at the expense of the many. I really want to use my voice to create some kind of community where we peacefully resist all of the evil and the tyranny that's being fashioned against us. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you so much for liking these videos and sharing these videos and commenting under these videos and subscribing. I know this, none of us is greater than all of us. And if we put our heads together, we're going to figure something out and we're going to create a more peaceful, prosperous future. I will see you in the next video.
What's up, Nugalog? Nugalog? Oh, these fucking birds are fucking pissing me off, dude. Shut up, annoyance. Jesus, I don't get it, man. How they can do that again and again and fucking again, dude. Babs, what? Babs, WTV.
Hello, family. Welcome to Babs WTV, where we talk about real life, real struggle, and what's happening in today's world. If you've been feeling like life been getting more expensive, things been getting hard, and things just don't feel the same, you're not alone. On this channel, We talk about a lot of topic about cost of living crisis, job market struggle, money problem that people are facing, and the reality of everyday, day-to-day living. No filter, no sugarcoat, just real conversation. And if you feel like that's something you relate and something you kind of care about,
Are skipping meals because,
and let's check out this video.
and some Americans are skipping meals because
27% of Americans are skipping meals because of skyrocketing food costs, as Americans opt for cheaper, less healthful foods to get by.
food prices have gotten so high. Jane King is live at the NASDAQ with those stories. Jane, the high cost of food is forcing some people to go without.
That's right, Ron. In fact, 27% of Americans are skipping meals because of skyrocketing food costs. And then another 18% say they've considered applying for food stamps. Intuit Credit Karma found a fifth of respondents, about 21%, said they felt ashamed about their inability to afford groceries. And they also found many people are changing their food shopping habits. So many are...
Hey, shh. Folks, it's not your fault. Hey, shh. It's not your fault.
Shopping now at discount stores versus big name supermarkets. And about a quarter of respondents say they're just buying less healthy food and paying for something more, maybe not quite as healthy because that's what they can afford.
Yes, we're cooked. That's it. We're cooked, everybody. Wrap this shit up. Stop paying your taxes. You can might as well just go ahead and skip rent this month. It doesn't matter. We're fucking cooked. Have you not looked outside? Have you read a fucking news? Read a single newspaper. We are so cooked. Oh my God. They are, woo, I mean, maybe not the whole world, but at least here in America, cooked, baby. Cooked. They just raised the ICE budget by $500 billion. $50 billion. And the ICE isn't even for the global warming. The ICE is for the immigrants that build everything. They're cutting hospital budgets. Woo. Oh, God. Food benefits. It's called SNAP. Some of you might know it as food stamps. Done. They're cutting. So much of it. Done. And they're giving it to masked men to chase nurses down the street. It is. Oh, it feels good together. We don't have to pretend anymore. We don't have to pretend for maybe your kids. Maybe pretend for them. That way they'll do their homework or something. But in the long run, oh boy. Okay. So yeah, we're cooked.
I skipped dinner this week to save food for my kids. I'm so sorry that our country has failed you. I think stories like this need to be pushed out more than mine, starting with a lot of the comments that were posted on the I'm an American video. I think it's important to share these stories, and I think it's important that people see the struggle. It will show people in other countries what it's actually like to live here, not the propaganda version of America, but the reality. And I hope it will also show other Americans that they're not alone. I just think that this needs to be talked about more. It's shocking.
Folks, nobody is talking about the insane amount of homelessness increasing, foreclosures, repossessions. Everybody's going homeless by design of the government and corporations colluding together, conspiring with one another, even though they're all one anyway.
To me, how many people from overseas are surprised by what I've had to say. And that's just me. I'm nowhere near the poorest of poor. There are people in these comments who, they have to live in cars or they're just homeless in general. I think the world needs to know about this. It's not doing Americans justice to just share propaganda.
Law student Kalia Frost is down to one meal a day.
Got some bread and cheese in there, so it should last a couple more days, hopefully. People are going hungry. People are putting themselves in really...
People are going hungry left and right. Meanwhile, fucking Trump's got billions of dollars to murder children in other countries because of his ego.
Risky situations because of this cost of living crisis.
And it's not just food.
And for Israel.
I've heard people skipping out on car insurance or personal medication because they just simply cannot afford to live.
It's like exceeds my budget, and it's keep exceeding and exceeding.
Student-run welfare programs are springing up all across the country, but they're struggling to meet demand.
When I say I have no food, this is what I mean. This is the fridge, and this is the pantry. So when I tell
What you mean? You still got condiments? You still got condiments? I'm just kidding.
It is 2 a.m. I'm not giving DoorDash $30 to get a burger, and I'll be damned if I get in my car and drive somewhere. I mean, I usually have pizza rolls for emergency situations like this, but they're gone. The only other thing in there is broccoli. I don't even know how those got in my house. Jeez. And where there's a will, there's a way. I'll figure something out. Let's get a brainstorm a little bit.
Man, this to me like I'm dumb because of math.
Yeah.
Mathy, clucky, lucky, boom. Councils are putting up council tax up to 4.99%. Petrol's creeping towards £2 a litre. Food prices are through the roof. Yeah. Families are skipping meals. People are choosing between heating and eating. But somehow, a multi-millionaire, Peter Mandelson, gets £75,000 to quietly step away from a position. Why? Because of his long documented connections to convicted nuns, Jeffrey Epstein. And we're supposed to believe Keir Starmer didn't know about this. Breaking news, those connections have been public knowledge for years. So let me get this straight. Working people are drowning, taxes up, fuel up, food up. But when a powerful man with questionable associates steps down, he walks around with 75K. You genuinely can't write this. You can't make
all fucking backwards, upside down, inverse, opposite world, all at once. Gaga, goo goo, boo boo, boo boo. It sucks.
it up because
It's nuts.
people at the top always land on their fucking foot bottom, and the people at the bottom are always told to tighten the belts. Make it make sense. I'm too loud to be ignored. Hit follow, more chaos.
I just got done reading an article stating that millions of Americans and Pennsylvanians have been skipping meals and have been using less and less of their utilities because they can't afford health care. In this day and age, here in 2026, this is what is happening. It is so hard to believe that we are still at this place where folks aren't able to afford to go see a doctor or to get medicine that they need. Do you know that a third of GoFundMe pages are specifically dedicated towards healthcare? It's wrong. It needs to stop. We need people who are going to fight for us in our state legislatures. We need people who are going to fight for
of customers. Americans have less to spend on food because mentioning
all working folks. That's where everybody deserves.
Also worth mentioning that if suddenly millions of Americans have less to spend on food because food benefits have been cut nationwide, that is going to have
Trump, by the way, took away all your food and used the money to murder children, innocent babies in Iran. Yeah. And innocent fishermen in Venezuela and Cuba.
Have an inflationary effect on food prices at the grocery store. When grocery stores suddenly do not have that steady flow of customers, smaller stores are going to start to shut down. People are going to start losing their jobs. The neighboring store can charge whatever they want. They will make their dollars, their profits, no matter what. So if they have less people buying, sure. At first, food prices might go down a bit, but in the long run, they will increase. So this is going to affect everybody. This is not something that just affects people who you are so detached from because you don't need food assistance. But eventually you might. This is why when we talk about severe austerity like this, severe budget cuts, that ain't helping anybody. It will affect the most poor and most vulnerable at first, sure. But you're next.
Here's something I've started to notice, and I wish I hadn't. Hunger.
Not famine, not the kind that happens far away in somebody else's moral geography, but the local, ordinary kind. The Canadian kind. People my age, people with degrees and jobs and decent grammar, are telling me they're skipping meals. Not for fitness, not for faith, for money. They can't afford to eat. I can't either some days. The fridge is an echo chamber. You learn to time your hunger to your bank balance. I tell myself I'm intermittent fasting. Really, I'm just broke. I'm lucky in one sense. I have family who help, but even they are strained now. It's become a national sport, this private juggling of who helps whom survive another week. The rich are fine, of course. They're always fine. And the government seems content to treat our collective malnutrition as a kind of character-building exercise. Since COVID, we've all been living in the aftermath of the great economic adjustment. Prices have exploded like popcorn. Wages, like a sulky teenager, refuse to move. Jobs today pay roughly what they did when I finished university, except everything costs double. We've achieved a kind of anti-progress. The more you look, the less you have, and yet, from the marble lips of economists, we're told that to keep life affordable, pay must stay low. Affordable for whom exactly? Walk into a grocery store and you'll see what I mean. Every aisle is a battlefield. You do mental
gymnastics just to fucking figure out a way to eat. Ah, my nose. Oh, God. Talk about not. Oh, my nose. Oh, my nose. Man. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, it's getting bad. Hold on. Let me get a couple more videos out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, huh? That's it. Yeah, it's crazy not having any more fucking teeth in the front, huh? Call me fucking buckwheat. Fucking snaggletooth, whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. What are they doing? It's rough. Feels crazy as shit. First teeth. First day, I mean, with no teeth. Completely in the front. Oh. 55% of Americans cannot make ends meet today. 55% of Americans cannot make ends meet today. It's way more than that. But let's go with, okay, whoa. Okay, here we go. So what happened to everybody, folks? Huh? What happened? Where's everybody at? Excuse me. Here we go.
"55% of people in the United States can no longer make ends meet. Today, the United States is experiencing a severe economic crisis where people feel that everything is increasingly getting out of control and they do not see a clear solution."
The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Report now nearing its lowest level ever as years of sticky inflation and the lasting impact of the government shutdown loom
Of all time.
large over American households.
This has caused morale to be at one of its lowest points, as 6 out of 10 consumers see their financial situation becoming increasingly difficult.
So the bigger headline is we are awfully close to being as miserable American consumers as they've been at any point in recorded American history.
In addition, recent global conflicts have caused gasoline prices to rise by 25%, making it more expensive to live.
Oil prices have soared since the U.S. and Israel launched attacks against Iran, and gasoline prices have jumped $1 to $3.98 per gallon, according to data from AAA.
Furthermore, tariffs have caused food prices to increase by 12%, forcing families to reduce what they consume in order to sustain themselves.
Food prices went up by 0.5% from July to August. That's the fastest monthly increase since fall of 2022. It was driven in part by commonly imported groceries.
Wage stagnation also plays a key role, as wages are only growing by 3% annually. This leads many workers to rely on credit card debt to cover their basic expenses.
Consumers are increasingly reliant on credit cards to finance purchases of everyday goods and services, and that's because they're just getting a lot more expensive.
All of this is leading the country toward an increasingly alarming situation where the economy and daily life could worsen if action is not taken quickly. So, why are Americans' finances worse than ever? The United States is going through an economic and social crisis that has affected citizens' confidence and quality of life. In recent years, consumer sentiment has fallen by up to 30%, showing a very low level of confidence.
Anywho, let's keep going here. Oh, I'm healthy, bro. Trust me. It's the reason that thing fell out is because it's healing. Trust me. I can't grow new teeth with that thing in the way anyway. Right? How was I going to grow new teeth with that in the way anyway? It's a good thing it fell out this morning when I was sleeping. Well, I was awake actually. I was half asleep. I don't know. It's like awake, but I wasn't full. And like I fucking bit down and it fucking broke off. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I woke up more, you know. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? It's just dangling there. What is this? Should I try to? I was so tired. I almost wanted to go back to sleep. But I'm like, this motherfucker's about to just. I just pulled it barely, and it just came right out. Just came right out. I'm like, holy shit. Now I'm like Snaggletooth.
I've applied to over 150 jobs.
I've applied to 500 jobs this year and not heard back from any of them.
We have some pretty horrible economic news. United States layoffs are now surging to their highest point since the pandemic.
The big companies are the first wave, the medium companies are the second wave, and smaller companies are the third wave.
I worked for this company for 4 years. This just came out of nowhere.
I think there's an idea that if people are too broke to focus on anything other than just trying to survive, maybe they won't push back.
Let's talk about the current job market in America. If you are working right now,
Push back. Broke.
Nowhere.
I think there's an idea that if people are too broke to focus on anything other than just trying to survive, maybe they won't push back.
let's talk about the current job market.
Did you hear that? Yeah, that's exactly right.
In America, if you are working right now, consider it a blessing no matter what type of work it is, because most people are saying they cannot find a job. In fact, people are being told that the average wait time now to find a job, expect about 12 to 18 months.
So they're saying it takes 9 to 12 months, maybe even longer to get a job in this market.
Are being told that the average wait time now to find a job, expect about 12 to 18 months.
A year to a year and a half just to get a job. That's what your job expectancy rate is. That's not a world that's sustainable, folks. That's And by the way, this can't happen by accident, okay? This could never and ever happen by accident, probability and statistically speaking.
So they're saying it takes 9 to 12 months, maybe even longer, to get a job in this market. And that's, to me, that's one of the most tone-deaf statements.
Who the fuck has a year and a half worth of fucking money to just blow? And why you're not making any money?
It's that I hear career coaches say, because if you're anything like I was when I got laid off, you don't have 3 months. Look, your bills don't quit just because you get laid off. Your expenses don't quit. Your kids still have to eat. You got to keep the lights on. You got to do all these things. So to sit there and say, just buckle up and get ready, be prepared, be patient, is the most nonsense crap I've ever seen.
I need you to understand one thing.
Exactly. It's insane. That's insane.
If Amazon can cut 14,000 jobs 62 days before Christmas, what makes you think that your job would not cut you? What makes you think your job is safe? Guys, we are living in times where employers don't give a damn about you being a 3-time employee of the month, a 3-time employee of the year, how much brown nosing you do, how much overtime you work, how much sacrificing you did for the company, neglecting your family. They don't care, guys. These jobs only care about the income that they can make for the company, and they're going to pay you as less as possible, but work to get the most out of you to accomplish that. And if they have to cut you to meet those numbers, those analytics, then guess what? Get ready, because they're going to treat you like trash going out on a Friday. Being somebody who know, because that's what happened to me at my job. But not only that, guys, 84 million people are supposed to lose their jobs in 2025 thanks to layoffs and firings. And this should be a clear sign to you that if the big tech companies can lay off people who are making hundreds and $200 an hour, what do you think they'll do for you making $15 to $20 an hour?
I am literally crashing the fuck out, because I know everyone says finding a job right now is so hard, but I've been trying to find a marketing job for so long now, and it's actually the most difficult thing ever. Like, I didn't expect it to be as hard as people actually said it was, but it is. Like, it's literally a loop of just like hopelessness. Like, it's just over and over and over. Every time you think you're close, you're actually not.
The job market is so bad right now that I'm fully convinced the only way that you're going to make money and be financially stable right now and in a career path that you don't absolutely hate is by starting your own business. And the idea sounds more and more enticing to me every day when I watch these videos of recruiters talk about how they have over 600 applicants for a work from home position.
Let me tell you how bad the job market is right now. I got laid off about 36 days ago. Probably 200 applications in. Out of that, probably 25 rejection letters. Signed up at Walmart for a job. Signed with the local Publix, my grocery store, for a job. No interviews, no contacts. Out of all the applications I put in, I've had 2 interviews. Been ghosted probably 15 times. Then I decided, well, you know what? I'll do DoorDash. Went to do DoorDash. Couldn't get on in the area. Your zone is full. Can't even do DoorDash. That's how bad it is. I've been aged out 36 days. This is the longest I've ever been without a job ever in my life.
Aged out, priced out, jobbed out.
23 years in the military, master's degree, bachelor's.
All for nothing. Again, I have 2 degrees. I have an associate's in arts degree, 2-year degree, and then I got the 4-year degree, the bachelor's of science degree in business administration, both in business administration.
Tons of experience.
Finance.
Can't find anything.
I'm a recruiter and I work in the life sciences industry. I posted a position yesterday on LinkedIn for a data scientist role. The role's remote. It filters out anyone that doesn't live in the US. Has knockout questions for people just to make sure that they meet the qualifications for the role. So active applications, I log in today, over 600. Taking a look through all of the applications, every single person is qualified. I have to go through and reject over 600 people for a job that these people probably well deserve because our market is crashing. I've never seen anything like this in the 11 years that I've been recruiting. The job market is awful right now.
I got a job offer for a place, a tanning salon, a managerial position, right? Required my bachelor's degree. I was like, yeah, of course. This is good. I'll be working with, different environment. I like, makeup, blah, blah, blah. $14 an hour. $14 an hour. What? I wouldn't have been able to eat with $14 an hour. Like, it required my bachelor's degree. I went to the interview. I almost took the job, honestly, but I didn't. I said I would rather be unemployed. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And this is a tanning salon that is very well known. I'm pretty sure it's in every state. It is so baffling that they're paying their people like that, especially how overpriced their shit is.
So I just came out of the City of Burbank job fair and media expo where there were no jobs available. It was about 2,000 people, including me, holding resumes, and a bunch of tents of people, I guess, promoting their businesses, I guess, and no one was hiring at all, including the company that just laid me off. About 100 people in line to talk to them, and then there was just like a lady from there being like, if you're trying to drop off a resume, just go online, it's all online. I talked to a lady from the Burbank Library. She's like, we're here to answer questions about the library. And I was like, okay, are you guys hiring? And she was like, I don't know, go online. Anyway, it was awful and demoralizing, but I did it. I gave it a try. I can say I tried. Do better, City of Burbank. There are a lot of people out there looking for jobs right now, and I think I was not the only one who expected.
Hey, at least you don't have to look at the one fake tooth anymore. Yeah. Now this one needs to fall out. These two need to fall out to kind of make it look just no teeth, more even. I would prefer that. It probably will. They probably will because it's healing. All the toxins out of the vessel, when it heals, goes to the teeth. And then you just have to grow new teeth at that point because your chakras are open at this time.
Me any length of time if you've been with me any length of time, you've heard me warn many times in many different videos about the 100% rock solid, airtight surveillance, control, and punishment grid that's being set up by Flock Safety in concert with the networking of Palantir and
against the will of the people.
The cameras are just one phase of this Orwellian nightmare. As a matter of fact, it's become such a nightmare, not only in this country, but in other countries, that people are taken to the streets and they're doing something about these Flock Safety cameras.
We could all learn something from the people of Britain right now.
I showed this one already.
Low emission zone cameras, and they'll just charge you for driving around in the intercity areas. And as you can see here, they be cutting them down.
Look at that. Look at that. Brian's showing the video I showed already yesterday. The other day.
Every turn. And you've heard it said, the safety of the people will always be the alibi of tyrants. And that's the alibi that Flock Safety and Palantir and police departments are using to implement their big brother dragnet. It's for your safety. You want to catch kidnappers and carjackers, don't you? You want to make sure criminals are eliminated from society, don't you? Well, this cop in Monroe County, Michigan is about to justify the use of not only Flock Safety cameras, but also drone technology that's going to network with these Flock Safety cameras and their license plate readers.
Now the drones are going to be connected to these Flock cameras. What did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen?
Because if we thought these things are bad, well, this ain't nothing compared to the networking capability as they begin to work in concert with something like this. Listen to this cop's justification.
Kill, not just hurt, kill. Possibility. Yeah, right. And that bothers me. We already have drones. We don't need drones that are triggered by the fly cameras.
Anyway, check out. Here's the deal here. I can't watch all this shit. I hate fucking cops. And that's about it. No, dude, just let my shit heal and grow back naturally. But if you want to get me one of those until they heal, you want to get me one of those fake grills. What do they call those? Snap in? Snap in teeth, the fake teeth. Golly, what was that? Anyway, I gotta get out of here. This thing, I gotta go, you guys. I gotta go. 2:37. Yeah, it's like dead. I don't know. I don't need dent. I'll be all right. I'll figure it out. But yeah, this is crazy. Now there's at least not this one retard tooth hanging down. At least I'd rather have it that way. Now, if I could just get rid of that one, you know, it'd be all right. But what are you gonna do? Anyway, love you guys. I got to split. Fucking raining like crazy here. Appreciate you guys. Love you much. Bubscat, much love to you, and all the rest of yous in the chat. And love you. Appreciate you guys in the old Phoenix Side crew. And talk to you real soon. Appreciate any donations I can get, man. Appreciate you guys. Please donate. Thank you. And see you real soon in the next live stream here. If I don't fucking die from this bird first. Take care, you guys.